Welcome to Rap Fiesta. Welcome to Rap Fiesta. What up, everybody? Welcome to Rap Fiesta. To Rap Fiesta. Rap Fiesta. To Rap Fiesta. Rap Fiesta. Welcome to the Rap Fiesta podcast. All right, let's do it. Yo, so how you doing, man? I just saw it was your 40th birthday too. Happy belated.
I appreciate it, man. Feels good, man. You know what I mean? I know a lot of young people be like, "You getting old, man," but you should want to get old, man. You shouldn't want to fucking be gone from this earth early as shit in your lifetime. You know what I mean?
How's it feel? Like, feels like you're entering a new stage?
Yeah, I feel like I told myself when I turned this age that I would stop dealing with a bunch of bullshit that I used to deal with. So that's the phase I'm in right now, cutting corners, man. You know what I mean? Trimming the fat off all the shit that I don't want to deal with anymore.
Nah, I feel that's a good thing to look up to. And congrats on the new album, Mask On, man.
Thank you.
One thing I noticed as well, in the song titles, all the song titles were in caps. What was the thinking with that?
It wasn't really nothing too crazy behind it, but for the cover and everything, you know, people hear me rap all the time. But when I do like melodies and melodic stuff like that, I feel like they always be like, "You don't need to sing, you don't need to blah, blah, blah," or "I like this," or whatever. So I just put the mask on and just covered up my face so people could just be like, all right, let's just listen to the music and don't worry about, you know, this is Kev the Hustler, or this is Chevy Woods and what we expect from him.
I thought that was clever title too, just because of like the COVID pandemic, everyone has a mask on. So I was wondering, were you thinking that when you titled it like that? Like the connection?
Yeah, for sure, because I feel like it was going to be a conversation piece, like you asking me the question now, you know what I mean? I knew what was going on, and I did Mask On. The deluxe version that I want to do is called Mask Off, though. So it makes sense that we're getting out of the pandemic, so now we can, you know, take the mask off a little bit.
I like that. That's dope. It didn't hit me until like halfway through, and I was like, oh shit, this is like relative to what's going on. I thought that was cool. And you only got one feature on there. How come you don't got more?
Trying to just stand out on my own, you know. I did songs with the homies for years, and we got millions of records too that's about to pop out and be on the way. So just kind of like a stand on my own type of thing, you know what I mean? I can go get features from whoever I please, especially when it's in the gang, you know what I mean? So I just like, let me just do something for myself.
That's dope. And that record you just dropped, text me out as well. It's a switch up from that intro record. You got a lot of versatility. You went more into like a melodic approach. What was your thought process when you were trying to pick songs for the album?
I mean, all of those songs are really fresh. You know what I mean? It's not nothing that I went back and just pieced together or nothing like that. Those are records that I recorded within maybe a month or 2 months of what the hell? Oh, there we go.
Yeah, you're good.
Or 2 months of dropping the tape. So all those records are fresh. I feel like that's the best. And, you know, when I'm in a studio recording with the homies and stuff like that, they also give me the ideas of what to put out, what can go. So I just take it as a collective, because even to the team, they hear all the music and stuff before it come out. So we talk about it, discuss it, and then we go from there.
That's what's up. And why did you choose Nightmares as that debut visual for the album?
Because it's personal. It's a lot of things that I didn't talk about. It's a lot of family stuff that I didn't talk about. You know what I mean? I don't really show a lot of shit that's going on in like my personal life. So to get to go in the studio and rap about it, just like a painter would paint, just like somebody that writes poems, you know, would write poems the same way. I'm just expressing it more personally and not. It was stuff that I could have said years ago, but I wanted the right platform. Just like for Since Birth, for my debut album that I put out, it's the same concept.
You dropped some heavy shit on there. You said you just lost your uncle to a heroin OD. What was how does that type of trauma influence your music at this point in your life?
I think, I mean a lot, because I always think about it. You know what I mean? I always think about the what if. I always think about, you know, him seeing me doing what I'm doing now, you know what I mean? Because when he was running around in the streets and stuff like that, I used to just see him as like, give me $5, buy me ice cream, get me a Gatorade, you know what I'm saying? It used to be, so I never really got to do nothing or talk to him in like a grown-up space, you know what I mean? So I just wanted to say that because I'm always thinking about it.
Were you guys close when you were coming up?
Yeah, kind of, but he was in and out of drugs and jail sometimes. So it was just, it was like my favorite uncle anyway, regardless of what he did anyway, just because how he carried himself as when I was a kid, you know what I mean? So it was like, and this happened when I was probably like 9, 10.
Oh, so you're real young.
Yeah, so it's like that was my favorite uncle. Like, and like I said, it used to be about me seeing him out, and no matter what was going on, you wouldn't be able to tell, and he would still help, take care of me and my brothers and stuff like that.
And for that visual, why the Tupac and the MJ, the two biggest icons in rap and basketball?
Yeah, because just the hook, the way the hook is, it says, about come back like Mike with the 4-5, which means like, 45 is a pistol. So it's like, 4-5, Michael Jordan, all eyes on me, Tupac. I was like, all right, this makes so much sense for me to just put that in there like that.
Yeah, I was catching those bars. All eyes on me. Tupac's record 4-5. He came back with that jersey number later stage in his career. Yeah, so I like those connections. And I was wondering as well, what was the recording process like for you during the creation of the album?
I did a lot around the team. Like we record every night. So in the midst of us recording every night, everybody's working on something. So everybody gets a turn to go do what they do. So it just so happened that when it was my turn, every song that I was recording was for Mask On. You know what I mean? So I was just getting there. I'll say, this is the first one, this is the second one, this is the third one, and just go like that instead of, like I said, going back and piecing it and finding old records. I just did that shit like right then and there, so it feels fresh. Because I heard Kendrick Lamar say this one time, like when you make records, if you don't drop it for a year, it's hard to go back and be in that realm that you were in when you recorded it. So I try to be fresh and the feeling feel fresh to the people and to myself when I drop it as well.
And you're always evolving as an artist, and it's hard to go back and drop a song from a year ago because now you're kind of different in your evolution. Right. So no, I feel that. And what is the room like for you? Do you have a lot of people in there, like with you, hyping the songs or giving you feedback, or is it just you and the engineer?
Yeah, it's more of the team, like all the time. You know what I mean? Sometimes it might be me and the engineer. If I get there, if the studio start at 8 and nobody else gets there till 9:30 or something like that, I'll probably recorded 2 records. And it's just me and the engineer. But then when they come, we get to play it and, jump around and say what we think about it, switch some things up. And I just feel like it's good camaraderie for us because we get everybody's opinion about everything. You know what I mean? And you got to be able to take that constructive criticism and change it into a positive.
I love hearing artists when they're like describing how they're recording songs. And I want to know, are you freestyling them? Are you writing these? Or is it a mixture of both?
Yeah, it's a mixture of both. So if I'm going to the studio and I have the beat, so sometimes when I'm at home prior to the studio, like 3-4 hours, I'll get to just writing, you know what I mean? Open up beats, writing. And if I got something that I feel like is going to stick, then I take that to the studio with me. But sometimes I just walk in, the engineer, homeboy, his name is Aaron. So I just tell Aaron, like, load this one up. And then I just walk in there, mumble some shit, catch a little vibe, and start from there. So I'm always looking for like a top line just to start the record off. So I might write just a sentence before I leave from the house to go to the studio, and that sentence starts the song.
That's what's up. And how's the ride been being Taylor Gang at this point in your career? I know you've been associated with Wiz and the whole collective for a while now.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's great. I mean, we came up together. We created all this stuff that we're doing together, you know what I mean? And I don't think nothing goes forward or pushes further without a team. So everybody might see us in the studio and us partying and on the videos, but we have a whole team that, they talk about everything. We have group chats. We say everything to each other and just figure out what's the best, move. So when I'm in the studio, it's a different conversation. It's about the music and stuff. But when I'm talking to Michelle, Will, Irvin, everybody on the team, it becomes different because it becomes business and us trying to figure out what to do with the records that were created.
What's it like being a part of something so successful at such an early stage? How do you make sure that you guys are on the right track and, egos don't, if you know what I'm trying to say, like someone doesn't get too big headed, things like that. So a lot to maintain.
Yeah, I just think it's we hold each other accountable for everything. You know what I mean? So we don't have problems and shit like that with each other. You know what I mean? If it is, we just talk about it. That's why you'll never, and you probably have never seen us on the internet bickering and
Never have. Yeah.
I mean, or even getting into anybody else's business and doing that. You know what I mean? So I think we just stick to our guns, and the camaraderie, it just helps us like be that conglomerate of like people to be able to work on big music and shit like that.
That's what's up. That's crazy. And I just read some sources saying you started out as Wiz's hype man, and you guys met through a producer.
Right. Yeah, we met through one of my homeboys. Actually, his name is Freeze. But I had cousins that went to school with Wiz. You know, they used to always be like, "Yo, I know Cam can rap. Cam can rap." I'm like, I don't know who the hell Cam is. Like, I never met him or anything in my life. You know what I mean? But the school was 10, 12 minutes from where I live.
Yeah.
So all the kids and all my cousins and shit, they knew him. And I just happened to be looking for a studio, which was ID Labs, and Dan told me the price for recording. I went down there, I started recording. My boy Freeze came with me. He already knew Wiz and like a couple people around him and stuff like that, and he connected us. And
That's
like
organic.
it was like he was in the back room, I was in the front room. We heard what each other was doing, but we didn't know each other. But then we met in like the lobby, and from there we recorded a song that night called Me, way back then, and ever since then we've been locked in.
Is that song out?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I gotta check that out. I didn't know that. It's the first time that you guys met. That's historic. That's dope.
Yep.
One of my favorite records from you is with Wiz and Juicy J. What was it like getting on a record with the 3-6 Mafia legend?
Amazing. I actually just left the studio like 3 or 4 days ago with Juicy. So it's still, you know, the same stuff. We still go chop it up, still bounce ideas. He might have beats for me. I might have hooks and stuff for him or whatever. So it's definitely legendary. And I feel like just growing up listening to his music and the whole shut the fuck up and like every part, it's like classic. So just to get him to be a part of anything is amazing.
Yeah, no, he's definitely one of my favorite rappers too. He's a big legend. Memphis 10. And you dropped 16 mixtapes before you dropped like an album. What was the whole thought process with that? Why wait until this point?
It just wasn't ready. I just wasn't like, me and the music wasn't ready. You know what I mean? To do that. So I might have trashed the album like 5 or 6 times before thinking that I had it. And when I finally got it, I felt good about it. So once I get a project in whole, I get it from the studio and I just line all the records up, and I might go to sleep. I might be riding somewhere and I just listen to it straight through the whole time. If I feel comfortable like that, I feel like it's a good project. If I feel like one song need to be changed or something need to be done on this hook, then I just do that until it fits suit.
That's interesting, man. I can't imagine trashing a whole album. That's painful.
It's for sure painful because, you know, you get titles, you get everything. Like I had several different titles before I came up with Since Birth. So.
And you threw in so much hours just writing that song, like mixing it, the studio sessions, and then you just watch the whole thing. I can't even imagine that. That's crazy.
It's just a feel. It's just a feel. It's a feeling thing. You know what I mean? It's not too much goes into thinking about trashing it. You know what I mean? If it doesn't sit well, then that means that I'm not going to go forward with it.
Yeah, because if you release something you don't like, you're going to hear it and be like, you're going to have that feeling like, I didn't want to put that out.
Right. And I know what the fans are going to say. You know what I mean? So like when I'm dropping music, I make sure that it's the one, or it's whatever one fan or a million fans might like.
Facts. And what was that turning point for you to start taking rap seriously? Because I know you were hustling, you were playing ball.
Yeah, I mean, for real, I used to battle rap. You know what I mean? I used to battle rap across the city. So I think that got me in tune, and still to this day, I'm always in tune watching battle rap right now. So I think just that was part of it. I think meeting Wiz was a big part of it because I was, like you said, I was hustling. That was my dream. I thought I was going to get rich off the streets. And I didn't really have nobody around me that had a dream that wasn't nothing to do with the streets. You know what I mean? And once I met him, I was like, okay, bet. So this is bigger than what I'm thinking. So let me just chime in and see what I could do to make the situation, you know, bigger for him as well. And he can make the situation better for me as well, just learning, you know what I mean? Because there was a lot of game that he gave me as a young dude just to get me prepared for the music.
You had a lot of positive things going on at once, so it seemed like it made sense.
Right.
And it's crazy that you gave up the hoop dreams though. You're still playing ball?
Here and there. I play here and there, some celebrity games, you know. I might go to the playground and do some shit myself here and there, you know. So yeah, I still keep it by my side.
And there's something I read on too that you mentioned that I just never heard of. You said y'all made it off of Ustream, and I never even heard of what that is. What is that?
Crazy. So Ustream is just like what you're seeing right now with people on Instagram and stuff like that with the live. So Ustream, you was able to go live and the fans could come in and, you know, chime in, hear music and, you know, ask questions. Nobody was really doing interviews on Ustream or none of that. You know what I mean? So like this right here is like Ustream enhanced. So that's all it was basically.
I can't even believe that was a thing back then. I never heard of it. I feel like Instagram Live and the Zooms like just got popping like within the past like couple of years. So that's ahead of its time. That's wild.
I feel like that's where they got their idea from to do it. You know what I mean? So it's probably somebody that was running Ustream that has something to do with Instagram.
I hope so. Hopefully he didn't get his shit stolen and they all made money and he didn't get none. That would suck. But that's crazy. I never heard of Ustream. Like that's wild.
Yeah.
And what's the dopest fan interaction you've had?
Dopest fan interaction. I think at the shows it's always the dopest fan interaction because when I'm on stage performing, I'm paying attention to trying to perform. But when I'm looking in the crowd and see people in the front and see people word for word off of shit that I said, I'm like, all right, this works. So like those fan moments are the best. Or even when you're like taking pictures before the show and somebody comes up and be like, yo, this is my favorite song. And they get to spit in the verse. And you like, damn, I wrote that. And you recited it to me right now. And it made a connection to, you know, their lives. So I feel like that's like the best part of it.
Have you had any like strange interactions or ones that just bugged you out?
Not really.
Nobody trying to follow you, things like that.
Yeah, I seen, you know, wild shit. I seen fans do wild shit like get on tour buses and shit like that and not supposed to be on a tour bus and getting caught and shit like that. But it was like girls, you know what I mean? So they were like, there was one crazy girl kept saying that she was Wiz's girlfriend. So she like broke on a bus or something. She had all this face paint on her shit. And she was looking crazy. Like she was a deranged fan for sure. Just seeing that and I'm like, damn, how did she get on the bus? But the bus door was unlocked at the moment. And she worked her way back there. They had to pull her off the bus, get the police to come get her. And she's like, I'm with girlfriend.
Did Wiz at least give her a picture or that was it? Tossed her off and said goodbye.
No, she was out of her mind. So
damn.
Like that, you don't want to, you let other people help that situation.
Yeah, facts. How's performing these days too during COVID? Is it getting back to normal for you?
I mean, shows are starting to get booked. I haven't really been on a stage besides when we did the Cypher. So that was like a good icebreaker for me to get back in the realm of performing. And it was natural, just like riding a bike. So I don't think, it's going to be a drop off or anything. I just think that everybody with COVID got a reset button. What are you going to do with it? So now I feel like I got to have the best performances. I got to put out my best music. I got to shoot the right videos just because you got to reset and you don't want to relapse and go back to what you were doing before this whole pandemic hit.
We had a big break from shows and concerts, but yeah, you're right. Things are going to get back to it. You got any shows booked like for this year upcoming?
Yeah, we got some shows booked. We got some stuff in July, some stuff for the fall. So it's getting worked out, but it's going to happen.
It's good to hear people getting back, making some tour money and all that. That's nice.
Yeah, buddy.
Yes, sir. And I just a random question too. If another rapper smaller than you wants to get in touch and work with you, how should they go about it?
Of course, my email is in my Instagram profile. They can DM me. I mean, I reach out too. You know what I mean? So like my homie Luke, he makes beats right now, and nobody really knows of him. But at the same time, it's like Wiz gave me that kind of a shot. You feel me? So it's like, why not reach back to these people and give them a shot? That's why you'll hear new producers on like almost every project, because I'm always just looking, and people are playing instruments on IG, and I'm hitting them. I'm in the comments like, yo, send me this. I'm going to the studio tonight, and I'm getting the beat right then and there. So that's how I
Yeah,
try.
that's real. People always got to stay on game. You never know who's watching, man. Chevy Woods could use your track right now.
But
That's
yo,
crazy. And what's something you wish you knew early on when you were coming up that would have helped you now?
everybody ain't your friend, man, and especially in business. You know what I mean? It's cutthroat. So that's what I mean. I wouldn't have befriended a lot of people that I did. You know what I mean? Because they're not around right now, so I could have just done without them anyway. But I'd be me being me, trying to be cool, keep shit cordial, not trying to have my mind act out what I used to be or what I used to do in the street, you know what I mean, to people. So I just carry myself totally different.
Is there anything for independent artists specifically to look out for, watch out for?
Yeah, read every word of your paperwork, signing anything. Don't just put your signature on stuff because shit looks good or somebody's telling you something to make you believe that that's what it's supposed to be. Don't get locked into certain deals that you can't get out of or you got to pay your way out of. That just comes with reading everything. Just read it. Like there's a lot of stuff that's in contracts that people don't know. You know what I mean? Then when it comes down to it, they make an album, make another album. It's 2 years in, a 5-year deal. And then you're like, I don't really like it over here. So now these people spent all this money and you got to go pay it back just to get out and be free. You don't want to do that.
These contracts are so like wordy and confusing. I don't get how a lot of rappers get wrapped into it because I'm wondering if they have like lawyers or something dissect it. And even then they still get fucked over. So I'm always wondering how that happens, even when you have someone dissect these contracts.
Yeah, I mean, the lawyer can look over it as much as he wants to, but sometimes it's always something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
that's crazy.
Always something they're either missing or they misinterpret. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you or just the artist. I think when people are reading contracts off the artists just hear blah, 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 blah. They don't really pay attention. But you got to pay attention because this is your livelihood. And you don't want to be years in the game paying some label back some money from fucking 3-4 years ago when you're on to something new. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, they're so hyped up off just even getting attention. Someone trying to take a chance with them, willing to throw their lives away for it.
Right.
So, what moves you got for this album? Any like insight you can give us on what we can expect in terms of promotion and what you guys are trying to do with outreach?
I think it's time for outdoor music. I think Mask On was like an indoor kind of project because we were like indoors, not really no party records or no dance vibes or nothing like that. So now I'm gonna go for that. I'm gonna go for the outside music and the fun shit.
And how you plan on getting Mask On to everyone's playlists?
I'm about to drop the Text Me remix with Ty Dolla $ign. So
that's gonna definitely turn some heads. Yo, that's hype. I love Ty Dolla. That's dope.
Yeah, so they'll go back and wonder where the original version came from. And that's how you get them to listen to the whole Mask On project.
Man, that's some tip people got to take note of right now. I didn't even think about that. You drop the album first, then you get a feature for the remix. They come back and check the whole catalog. We thinking, I like that. That's insightful. Because the page that we run has a lot of indie artists like just absorbing content. So this is the type of shit that I love when artists come on to talk about.
Right.
That's free game. Man, that's hype, man. I'm excited to see when is that dropping actually?
I don't actually have a date because I'm still piecing it together. But I'm like 20 songs in and then gonna cut it back to like 12. So I'm not gonna go too far to go backwards, you know what I mean? I'll probably go 25 records, split that down the middle, whatever, however, and then go from there.
What's your favorite record off the album right now?
Ooh,
Tough one.
The favorite record off the album? I got this song called Ballin' that I'm going to change the title because I heard a lot of ballin'. Of course, Jim Jones back in the day like put out that same song. So I'm going to change the title. It's called Ballin' for now, though.
All right, that's what's up. And I don't want to take too much of your time. I'm going to cap this interview. And it was a pleasure having you on, Chevy. It was dope. You spit some game. We talked a little bit about the album, chopped it up. It was great.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me, bro.
No problem. Have a good one, and thank you for everything, my man.
You too, man.
Peace out.
Sure.